Hi everyone. In the previous video, we discussed about the decomposition reaction. And I put the video link in the description box. Today we are going to discuss more questions from chemical reactions and equations. And this is 2018 question paper. I'm going to discuss question number 25. The question is, what is observed when a solution of sodium sulfate is added to a solution of barium chloride taken in a test tube? Write equation for the chemical reaction involved and name the type of reaction in this case. So they have given three questions. First of all, you need to write the observation when you mix sodium sulfate and barium chloride. Second one, you should write chemical reaction in the form of an equation. Then third question is, what is the kind of reaction involved? So I am trying to write a word equation for this reaction. The reactants involved in this reaction is sodium sulfate, sodium sulfate reacts with barium chloride. So what are the products obtained over here? You already know there are two reactants involved in this reaction. So in such cases, you need to exchange the ions between them. So barium will react with the sulfate. So you will get barium sulfate. And the remaining reactants in the solution is sodium and chloride. So you will get sodium chloride. So this is a word equation between sodium sulfate and barium chloride. Now I am going to write a chemical equation for the same. The chemical equation is, what is the symbol of sodium? That is Na, you already know. And the symbol of sulfate is SO4. So your chemical formula for sodium sulfate is NaSO4. And as you know, sodium valence is 1, that no need to put on SO4 side. But SO4 valence is 2, that you can put on Na side. So Na2SO4, sodium sulfate, plus barium chloride. The formula for barium is Ba and for chlorine it is Cl. And the barium valence is 2 and the chlorine valence is 1. Now, barium chloride formula is BaCl2. So, Na2SO4 reacts with the barium chloride and the products are barium sulfate. So, you need to exchange the ions barium and sulfate. So, BaSO4, barium sulfate. And the formula for sodium chloride is NaCl. So this is the chemical equation for the reaction. Na2SO4 plus barium chloride. The products are BaSO4 and NaCl. Since the atoms are exchanging their ions, we call this reaction as double displacement reaction. The type of reaction is double displacement reaction. Now, the third question is, what will you observe when you add barium chloride into sodium sulfate solution? So your observation is, now see, you will be getting two kinds of product, barium sulfate and sodium chloride. As you know, sodium chloride is dissolved in water. You will not get it as a precipitate. It's an aqueous solution. The remaining product is barium sulfate, and this is insoluble in water and it will be forming as a precipitate. So your observation is, during this reaction, barium sulfate will be precipitating out. BaSO4, barium sulfate is precipitating out. So we answered 3 questions from this question paper. What is the type of reaction? That is double displacement reaction. And what is your observation? Observation is barium sulfate is precipitating out. And what is the chemical equation for this reaction? This is 2020 question paper. Now I'm going to discuss question number 5. The question is, calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to produce Slackert lime. The formula already given. Calcium oxide, CaO, it's a solid substance. It reacts with water. So what is in the liquid form? So it's given L. So you're getting calcium hydroxide. Actually it is formed as an aqueous solution. So that's why AQ is given. Now, so they are asking what is the kind of reaction. So whether it is a combination reaction, endothermic reaction, exothermic or oxidation reaction, and it's given a combination actually. So which of the following option is the correct option? As you already know, calcium oxide is a solid residue. When you sprinkle water, you are getting calcium hydroxide. Calcium oxide is called a quicklime. And when you mix it with the water, you are getting only one product, that is calcium hydroxide. So when you mix two substances together and you are getting a single product, it's called combination reaction. And one more point you have to notice that this reaction is actually an example of exothermic reaction, because Slackert lime is obtained as the product. Calcium hydroxide is also called Slackert lime. Slackert lime, it is obtained by the slacking of lime. Slacking of lime means lime is calcium oxide. So calcium hydroxide is called Slackert lime, and when you prepare this Slackert lime, a lot of heat energy is liberating during this reaction. So this is an example of clear example of exothermic reaction. So your answer is, it's a combination reaction as well as exothermic reaction. So the answer is option D, A and B. And the next question, another question also given. The question is, when hydrogen sulfate gas is passed through a blue solution of copper sulfate, a black precipitate of copper sulfate is obtained and the sulfuric acid is also formed, remains in the solution. So the reaction is an example of, I'm just trying to write a chemical equation for this reaction. So your reactants are hydrogen sulfate gas and the copper sulfate. Hydrogen sulfate gas, H2S, and copper sulfate. So these are the two reactants. When hydrogen sulfate gas is passed through a blue solution of copper sulfate, a black precipitate of copper sulfate is obtained along with the sulfuric acid. So copper sulfate is the first product obtained. Copper sulfide plus H2SO4. So when you look at the reaction, you can easily understand that these reactants are exchanging their ions. Copper is exchanging sulfate with the sulfide ion, and hydrogen is exchanging sulfide ion with the sulfate ion. So this is actually a clear example of double displacement reaction. So your reaction is a double displacement reaction. Now, so when you look at the 15th question, the question is 1 gram of copper powder was taken in a china dish and heated. So reactant here is copper and it is heated in a china dish. So what change take place on heating? Then when hydrogen gas is passed over this heated substance, a visible change is seen in it. Give the chemical equation reactions, the name and the color of the products formed in each case. So I'm just trying to write the chemical equation for the same, so you will get a better understanding of this reaction. So your reactants are copper powder. Only we have one reactant. So 1 gram of copper powder. It is heated in a china dish. So copper is heated in a china dish. So when you heat a substance, you already know it is mixed with the oxygen. It is combining with the oxygen and its oxide will be obtained. So CuO, copper oxide is obtained. This is cupric oxide because copper valence is 2 over here. So Cu plus O2, the product is CuO, copper oxide. So to form copper oxide, you need to heat it. And there are 2 oxygen atoms. You need to balance this equation. I'm putting 2 over here. Now number of copper also increased. So I'm just putting 2 on the left hand side. Now the equation is balanced. So when you heat copper powder in a china dish, the product obtained is copper oxide, and this one is black in color. Now the second part of the question is, what happens if you pass hydrogen gas through this black copper oxide? So I'm writing the second part of the question, CuO. Now you have copper oxide and you are passing hydrogen gas, H2. So what will happen? This reaction is also happens in presence of heat. Now what the product is Cu, copper, plus the remaining part is hydrogen and oxygen. This means H2O will be obtained. As you know, the copper is brown in color and the previous reactant is black. So you can see that the black color copper oxide, cupric oxide will be turned into brown color copper. What is the type of the reaction? In this case, you know, when a substance gain oxygen, you already know it's called oxidation reaction. So in this case, hydrogen is obtained or combined with oxygen. So it's called oxidation reaction. So this reaction is oxidation. And what happens to copper oxide? Copper oxide lost its oxygen. So this is called reduction. So this is an example of oxidation and reduction reaction. We together call it as redox reaction. Redox reaction.